Hey, Marc and Morgan from Whole Latte Love here.
Hi, Mark. What do we have today?
So today, 3 really nice grinders for drip or pour over or press brewing, and one that can actually go into espresso too.
Okay.
So we have the Breville Dose Control, it's the Pro model, the Baratza Encore, and the Capresso Infinity. Now, what I like about these 3, they're all Conical Burr grinders. You can buy cheaper grinders. They're going to be smaller, flat ceramic burrs for those styles of brewing. These larger Conical Burr grinders, let me get this hopper off of here. These are bean hoppers. So you can have a look. Here's a look inside the Dose Control Pro. I'll pull this right out of there. So that's your Conical Burr. All 3 have a very similar. They're all steel.
Okay.
While we got let's come back to this one.
Okay.
So Baratza Encore. So you notice how all the hoppers turn. That's how you adjust your grind size. You got 40 grind settings here, 18 on the Capresso Infinity. Again, but all the motors in these, they're going to be reduced, so they're not spinning the burrs super fast, creating heat through friction, which is going to cook some of the flavor out of your coffee. You go into cheaper grinders, they're going to spin super fast, heat up your coffee, and remove some of the flavor, probably. So back over to the Breville Dose Control Pro. So this has 60 grind settings. Okay.
That's quite a few.
Quite a few. And then you've got 10 more inside. So if you don't get quite the range you need here, this clip pulls off and you can turn this and you get 10 more adjustments inside as well. So it's got a really large grinding range.
Yeah.
I'm going to lock that back in because we're going to grind on all 3 of these so you can hear what they sound like.
Okay. And why don't you show us this other feature of the hopper?
Yeah, so your hopper's on here, you're grinding away, and you're like, oh, well, I got these new really cool beans I want to try, but you still got some beans in here. So you turn this to take it off, and it shuts off the flow of beans. So you can see, there it is open, beans are going to come through. So you can pull it off, take it over to your bag or whatever, and you dump them out and replace them.
Not a lot of grinders have that, so that is a nice feature.
You won't find that on either of these 2. You got to kind of like turn the grinder upside down or something to get the beans out. So I'm going to lock that hopper back in here. So grind settings like that, again, 60 up here, and they're kind of marked for the different ranges. This grinder you can also grind by time, 0 to 50 seconds, so use a dial here. I like the light behind it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Choose the time you want. Push the button. I have a little coffee in there. If you want to stop it at any time, even though you had a higher time set, push the button again and it goes off.
So timed or manual grinding with this one.
And this kind of demonstrates a little feature of the machine. We have some grinds spill out there. So a little grinds tray, so you can take this over to your garbage. I'm just going to do it on the counter here. Wipe that off. Keeps things nice and clean. Like I said, this one you could also go to espresso. A lot of people use this one for espresso. So if that's a thing that you might do or are into, it does come with cradles for portafilters, so you can grind right into a portafilter. 58, one that's 58, one that's 50 to 54. So you know what, let me pop the larger one on here and show you how that works. So portafilter for brewing espresso, pops in there, you grind right into the portafilter. Now if you're just doing drip, and again, we're kind of choosing these for really nice drip grinders, I like that you can fit your filter basket under there. So whether you're using that or like a gold tone, sits right in there, grind right into it. You select the time you want. If your coffee wasn't quite strong enough yesterday, turn it up a couple seconds, get a little more coffee in there. Very handy. So over to the Encore. Again, Conical Burr on this. I won't take the whole thing off. It's pretty much identical to the one in the Breville over there. But you grind into a grinds bin here. So you really can't, you can't really fit. I mean, you could if you held it, I guess, but kind of be a pain. So you grind into the bin, dump that in, and do your thing.
Okay.
40 grind settings up here, so a few fewer selections.
And no timed grinding on this one, it's just manual, right?
Yeah, it's on and off. So you turn this thing on and you walk away, it's going to continue to run forever. It also has a pulse button up here if you want to do a little more.
Okay.
Over to the Infinity, same Conical Burr setup, 18 grind settings on here. And these are, by the way, are in price. So this is the least expensive, middle, and most expensive. But you do have a timer switch here. And that's kind of what that one sounds like. So again, these all spin slower. So let's get some beans in them so you can hear what they're like and see what the grind looks like when we're actually grinding.
What kind of beans are you using today?
We got some Whole Latte Love Monaco. It's a lighter roast, typically used for espresso, but you know, most beans aren't, you know, you can make an espresso out of any type of bean if you want. So we'll put this in, we'll show you how it works into the cradle here. So I'm going to turn this down to like an espresso size. Oop, that'd be the other way. Won't go totally fine. And we'll turn our time, say I, you know, needed, I don't know, 10 seconds there. Stop that. So there's, yeah, that's a really nice fine espresso size. So you've got a lot of control in this, and you need that for espresso. Very particular about grind size. And let's say we're going to do some little drip next. So we'll turn this up into a drip range. And we'll remove that nice little cradle there. And grind right into the portafilter. Or portafilter, the filter basket.
So a recommended grinder for a household that has drip coffee drinkers and espresso drinkers.
Yeah, or maybe you're thinking about going that way. I mean, it'd be a really good choice. But it is a very, very nice grinder. This one, these grinders are predominantly plastic. There's just a little metal on the front up here on the Dose Control Pro. Okay. So the Encore, so if we're going to do a drip, let's see what we are there. So let's turn that on. Now you can, I know it might be hard to see, you can sort of see the coffee filling up here. But again, no timer on this one. You gotta do it manually. You do have the pulse button up here if you want a little more. So there's our range and about how much it ground in that amount of time. I'll just pour that out right there. I like making a mess. Over to the Capresso, you do have the timer up here. I'll set that into like a drip range here. You can see how much you're getting out here. There's even a line here that says, you know, don't grind any more than this. Kind of a max line there.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
And this one, of course, because it has the timer, will stop on its own. I'm going to stop it manually just by turning that. So there's our grind there.
Okay.
Now all these, you know, they'll be able to go much, much coarser if you're doing press or cold brew, that kind of thing. You know, could you get away with, you know, some of these for espresso? Sure, I wouldn't recommend it for higher end espresso. If you're using maybe a pressurized portafilter or something like that, go real fine with them, and you get a decent, not perfect, but decent. The Breville can do a really nice job of the espresso, much better than the other two.
Okay, great. And they are all available at wholelattelove.com.
That's right. I'm Mark. Thanks for watching.
Hey, why not subscribe now for easy free access to more videos on everything coffee, brought to you by wholelattelove.com.